Guys, welcome back to Retro Phones, and you just saw the title, Galaxy S7 Edge in 2025. Now, this isn't a full in-depth review because that takes a while more to have set up, but I actually also want to ask you if you want to see that. I could do that. I could also test some games on this phone to see how it handles. Now, there's something I'm pretty sure at least one person who sees this video will be asking themselves, and is this phone still usable in 2025? As a regular device? And I want to say that if you're not somebody who plays on their phone or who needs to have all of their multimedia experience on their phone, then yes, you can definitely use this phone in 2025. In fact, I'm thinking about making a video of using this phone for one whole week as my daily driver. That is for getting in contact with people, for work, for emails, and the occasional YouTube video, and of course, listening to music. Because the first thing that I do want to make clear is this phone has a couple things that make it stand out from any phone you could buy today, and a couple things that make it stand out from any phone you could buy today, but in a bad way. First off, in terms of music, we have a 3.5 millimeter port, which is actually awesome. You could listen to high quality music on this phone with, if you have a good enough DAC and a good enough headphones, you could definitely listen to, well, actually high quality music on this. And storage isn't a problem. Now, this particular one is 4 gigs of RAM, but that's not an issue because, as you can see, we can definitely have here micro SD card. That's right, we have a micro SD card slot in this phone, which is actually awesome. This was one of the last ones to have. I mean, this one, the S8, the S9, and the S10. So one of the last few that still had micro SD card support. That was taken away in the Galaxy S20 family, and from then on we never got it again. But yeah, that's actually a pretty good perk from this phone. You can expand your storage if you need to. Another thing I think that's pretty cool is the fact that we still have Android 8 on this phone, and that means WhatsApp is really compatible. Facebook, Messenger, YouTube, TikTok Lite actually runs decently. Any of your shopping apps also works decent. So yeah, having Android 8 lets you install pretty much any app still from Play Store, which is pretty nice in case you need to download apps and be, in contact with people. You can do that. You definitely won't be able to play any current AAA titles from the Play Store, but most casual games you should be able to play. I have no games installed, however. I do have an S10 Plus, which actually has a couple games on here. So if you guys want to see that, I'll gladly show it off on this channel also, which, I mean, it would fit the theme, being retro phone. That phone is nearly 6 years old. It's 6 years old already, so it's definitely old now. So yeah, you can definitely have WhatsApp on here. You can definitely have shopping apps, all of that. One of the other things that makes this phone feel very old, is the fact that the buttons are not on screen. They are actually here on the device itself, which some people might like, some people probably don't like because you can't switch them around, obviously. However, we do have a fingerprint scanner right here, and this was very much improved from the Galaxy S6s and from the Galaxy S5s, which I also have an S5, so stay tuned for that video. And yeah, I mean, it works pretty decently, although as you noticed, you absolutely can't unlock it without turning on the screen. It just won't do that, and there's no double tap to wake the screen, so you're basically stuck always having to press your button once and then touch again to have it unlock, which again, it's still pretty awesome to have a fingerprint scanner in a phone from 2016, if I'm not mistaken, or 17. And on the back, as you can see, I've made this one a clear one through a clear mod, which is just basically scratch off or scrape off all of the paint from the back, and now you have a clear phone. Heart rate sensor right here on the back below the flash, so that's actually kind of neat. Samsung phones don't really have that. This one has Samsung Experience 9.0, so the last version before it turned into One UI, and Android 8 as I mentioned, so that's pretty good. The camera is actually decent. I mean, for a phone of this age, of course, you can't expect a lot, but it's definitely not a bad camera. I mean, if you're going to use this phone, or if you want to use it because, you like the design, it's definitely a doable thing. If you need to take a picture of, I don't know, a document or let's say you need to take a picture of a QR code for something, you can definitely do it, and there's enough detail in there for it to be usable. So that's actually a non-issue. Obviously, for social media, well, it's definitely not going to look as good as a current, even a low. I think it's better than low-end phones cameras, but definitely from from mid-tier and up, it's definitely going to look worse. but it's still very, very usable in that sense. Another thing that I think makes this phone really feel old, even though it is, but it makes it feel even older, is the fact that we have micro USB, and Samsung did not add USB Type-C. That came in the next version, which was the Galaxy S8, and that really does make the Galaxy S8 and all of the other Galaxy phones that came after it feel very much more modern than this one, because you're stuck either using a micro USB cable, although I don't think anybody still keeps those around, or one of these adapters, which you can get off AliExpress or Amazon. You do this, and now you can connect it via USB Type-C, although we also have wireless charging, so if you have a wireless charging stand, you could definitely use that and not have to deal with connections at all. The build of this phone is very premium. We have aluminum or metal railings all through the side, or the sides of the phone. Front and back is glass, so again, very premium in the hand, and that screen is definitely a centerpiece. It looks so good. It looks very, very good. It feels like it has no edges, although it does. They're right there, but it's a very, very beautiful design. In my opinion, it's one of the best. Like, you also look at the S10 Plus, and Samsung used to make some really, really nice phones. The design of these guys was actually top notch, and the S7 Edge still holds up, at least in that sense, in my opinion. So yeah, that was the Galaxy S7 Edge in 2025. If you guys want to see actually a gaming test, or maybe that 1 week using this guy as a daily driver, I'll be glad to do it for you guys. Let me know in the comments, and I'll get to working on that for next week. And yeah, I also have a Galaxy S1, Galaxy S2, which I haven't been able to make it turn on, but I'll try. I have an S3. I have a couple S3s. I have an S4 Mini, S5, two S5 actually, S6, S6 Edge, S7, S7 Edge, S8, and an S9 that needs some work, and obviously the S10 Plus. So yeah, we could definitely get to work on those phones, and if I'm able to to be able to get those up and running, I'll definitely make those videos for you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Galaxy S7 Edge. Would you still use one of these guys in 2025? Maybe not exactly as a daily driver, but as a backup or a secondary phone. I think it still looks very, very good. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time here on Retro Phones.